I don't know, like, you were just wishing that from the ether,
Yeah.
but hey, FLuxwavez, I mean, maybe tonight is just a Menat evening, and FLuxwavez is feeling like working on the Menat a little bit. So Menat into Falke.
Yeah, this is interesting because now, like, the orb's gone. You gotta block all this stuff coming in from Falke. And without the orb, she just straight up outranges you.
Yeah,
Oh, tried to time the parry, but it just wasn't there. Sets up the bubblegum. Stomp.
okay. We get some plus frames off of the explosion, and you can see the Pokey is just trying to control things. Okay, EX anti-air comes out of Fluxwaves, who tries to chase down that V-shift, but doesn't quite find it. And, I mean, these anti-airs that come out of Fluxwaves on the Menat, it's the same thing that we had called out when Fluxwaves played this matchup earlier, that, you know, the anti-air game out of Fluxwaves on the Menat is super effective. Went for the overhead reset, not going to find it. We do go for the throw. We still have 3 orbs in the back. The chase down, oh, that was so active.
Yeah, you get to just smash out that one button DP. Don't have to worry about a whole lot. You're actually gonna get the punish on the throw whiff. And Flux is still somehow snatching victory from the jaws of defeat with this character.
Yeah, I wouldn't have expected it. I sort of had the anticipation, you know, especially when we watched Fluxwaves on the Menat earlier, it seemed as though the character was maybe a little bit, a little bit fresh, a little bit, you know, needed to warm up a little bit, needed a little bit longer in the oven, but, you know, as Fluxwaves is getting warmer on the character, you can see that they're definitely feeling more comfortable. Expected that hurt box to extend a little bit further and did not find the anti-air. Oh my god.
Just mashing that DP button, trying to get the most DPM. DPs per minute, chat. And that was a wonky set of hitboxes that we got coming out there.
The way that they're both whiffing crouch fears, I mean, those are pseudo anti-airs anyway. All of these throws, it's like, am I gonna blow up the orb? Am I gonna blow up the orb? All right, a new hope comes out from JustPokey, catches him with the standing low. We've got the follow-up in the back. Next touch could do it, and it is gonna connect on the trade around on the board here for JustPokey.
Final round.
What's up, photographer Rel? How you doing today, my man? Man, this is tight, right? We have Flux just about to get CA available, but they've been spending the meter in other ways, right? Like, we've seen it once so far, the CA, I mean, but other than that, they've been pretty well committed to sending out like the EX command grabs and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think using EX reversal, or I'm sorry, EX anti-air much in that capacity, or using the EX explosion, because you know, it doesn't bring the orb back when it connects, so it lets you zone exactly like that. I love when players are listening to me and decide to demonstrate accordingly. But using your EX bar in those ways let you really be a more active presence on the screen for longer. When we used to see a lot of CA that would come out from Menat, I'll finish this thought after JustPokey is not completely controlling the screen in the back, has the batter swing to close out the game, first game on the board here for JustPokey.
Yeah, now we're starting to get into the stage of how many games do we give them a Menat, right? Like, the last time we saw it, it was a 2-0. So there was never the chance to swap off of the character. This is now top 8. This is now a first to 3. So not only do you get a little bit extra time just to play the game in general, you do have an extra game or two that you can give up to, you know, a fun character pick or somebody that you're just trying to play through the tournament with.
Okay, counter pokes coming up from Pokey. You can see the consistent through line of Pokey's style, at least this evening, is comparatively active in terms of, you know, sticking out buttons to try to counter poke. You have such a strong, you know, poke game available to you on Falke with this Pogo that, you know, you kind of want to be active in a lot of these spots where swinging through a spacing trap might be a little bit harder.
Oh, just too far away there after the orb recall, but sets up the traveling orb. The low shot actually dodging out on the orb explosion. That's a situation you're not going to find a lot as Menat.
Okay. Fluxwaves, oh no, commits to the standing fierce and gets jumped in on. Pokey is not going to have all of the damage that they need, but a back throw would kill. Ooh. Oh my god! And you still lose? So hold on. JustPokey V-shifts back in fear of something out of Wake Up. Fluxwaves neutral jumps, and Pokey goes for an anti-air only to trade and lose Anyway, the only winner there was us, thanks to Shadow Royalty Live with the raid of 27. Thank you so much for coming through. You are joining our top 8 winner side already in progress for this week's Casa, with JustPokey now in the driver's seat with Fluxwaves stuck in this P1 side corner.
Pokey already up 1 game, but that is going to be Flux finally getting that air EX command grab they've been fishing for all set long. There we go. Sets out the V-trigger activation. V-shift V-break is successful.
Yep, and just trying to more actively zone, slowly chip away at that life. Pestilent with a gray life. Didn't want to commit a bar. I think maybe in that situation you could have gotten the juggle. But we're not going to get it. Fluxwaves with the life lead. Standing roundhouse anti-airs. If Justin Wong can make it all the way to CPT top 8 with standing roundhouse anti-airs, you can anti-air them. Fluxwaves winning out the game, 1 game apiece now in the first game, the first set rather, of our winner side top 8. 3 out of 5 for all of top 8 here at the Casa.
Yeah, these players are going to be playing for it all. And what I mean by it all is I mean the Matcherino chat. This is your chance to do !Matcherino. I'm sure we still have coupon codes available. All you got to do is sign in and click claim code. Adds 25 cents to the Matcherino pot. It's free money, comes completely out of nowhere. You'll love to see it. And then there's also, as always, the sponsor quests. Just simply follow, subscribe to a YouTube, retweet a tweet, whatever they are. They're successful, and they also support the players tonight. And for the future, for every Twitch sub to the Casa Bunch channel, $1 will go into the Matcherino of your choosing, because we host multiple a week, so you get to pick.
Oh, okay. I don't know if that was a drop or an attempt at a standing reset out of JustPokey, but it's fine. We get the plus frames off the standing low. Ooh, the shimmy works out, but we're a little bit too close for the throw after. Too far, rather. I'm sorry. Fluxwaves goes for the activation. We've still got 4 orbs left. No anti-air in the back. And that's the type of situation where I feel like historically, you know, Fluxwaves, when they were warmer on the Menat, was a little bit more comfortable trying to cover multiple options at the same time and using those orbs. Nice DX anti-air.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot better decision making coming out of Flux this round specifically, right? We've already seen a bunch of crush counters. That EX command grab worked out 1 more time, but it's back throw city. Counter hit. Oh, it does so much damage. Gonna get the cash out as well. Looking for that stun. Doesn't quite get it there, but
Pogo, the trade works, but we're not going to have the resources that we need in the back in order to close this out, even with the rest of the V-trigger. So we had to send out the bubble gum.
That was certainly
Fluxwaves does activation and CA in the back to try to make something happen. I think in this spot, you raw activate, throw one of the mini orbs, and just advance behind it in order to try to make something happen. And your concern is when, if at all, does Pokey reversal? Wow, actually waits to be able to get in off of a standing strong. And just like that, you spend most of your orbs. You have 1 left.
That's all
Overhead
it needs,
connects.
Though. Gonna go on a full spend, gets the CA, takes the round, stays alive a little bit longer in this set. Gonna tie it up 1 apiece here in this first to 3. Round-wise, game 3.
Right, neutral jumps coming out from JustPokey, trying to... See, I almost don't like the prevalence of the neutral jump fireball here. I mean, you need to keep it on the mental stack, but Fluxwaves isn't really trying to advance forward unless the orb is set up. So I feel like there's contexts where Pokey is going to the neutral jump as a tool, but it's just, it's not generating the threat that I think it needs to in order to make it really representative on the mental stack of something that is going to be able to be built on top of. That being said, Pokey has been able to push this to this corner and is now going to get the stun off that throw. That should be 2-1 Pokey now, assuming nothing drastic happens, which it does not. Just a clean combo to close it out. 2 games to 1 here for Pokey, staring down the barrel of winners finals.
Yeah, looking really strong on this character. And I like what you're talking about with that overhead shot. It's interesting because they're spending so much meter to get it done too, right? Almost every time they take to the sky, it's 1 bar. They never just, you know, end it early. They never come down, you know, with a... Well, they do some neutral jumps, and it's worked out a little well. But I don't know if this is the character swap that we were, you know, maybe alluding to a little bit earlier.
Right. What's it gonna be? I do imagine that it's gonna be a character swap. I don't imagine Fluxwaves jumps back to stay on the Menat and make like a V-skill loadout change. That wouldn't really make sense to me here. So is it Poison or is it Mika? Or is Fluxwaves just gonna be pulling out some weird stuff this evening and keeping us on our toes the whole time?
It's a good question. Who knows? We'll find out in just a second. And they are going to swap sides as well, chat. So we are going to now have Pokey on the P1 side with Flux on the P2. It is the Poison.
It is the Poison.
Pretty expected, I would say. It's the strongest character in their repertoire, I would say. And they can definitely get some work done.
Round one. Fight.
Okay, gonna have to see whether Fluxwaves is gonna be able to make this happen. Coming back from a 2-1 deficit, being able to represent that crouching jab and immediately start checking the dash is gonna be a huge deal. But, you know, I think a big question with Poison matchups is, you know, how effectively does the other player compete when they're at, like, Poison's crouching fierce range? Okay, if you're gonna be able to represent EX anti-air whip and trade in that way, that's something that's going to be a little bit difficult for Pokey to try to represent. The thing is, all of these, you know, jump fireballs, they can really catch out these crouch fierces that Flux needs to keep on the table.
Yeah, look at that huge jump in. Oh, it doesn't quite get enough for the stun. Pokey's still living, has trigger available as well, but it's not a whole lot of life left for them. That's a tough situation. That air fireball, the read from Pokey was just perfect.
Right? Representing that crouch stance, and you can see Fluxwaves is realizing they have the life lead. Clock is running down, so they need to press the issue a little bit. You don't have to go in, but you need to keep the threat generated on the screen, keep Pokey from being able to push too far out of the corner. Only really representing the gumball there. 20 seconds left on the clock now, and Pokey still on the back foot, smoked out by a crouching fierce as Pokey tried to get a little bit antsy and push forward. Fluxwaves with another round on the board here, wants to tie this up 2-2, and ready with the anti-air whip already. Stop representing that air fireball. Poison is much better equipped to handle it than Menat seems to be.
It's looking very clean. I mean, like we said, this is his strongest character. We've seen this character so much, terrorizing bracket after bracket for years. He's going to be able to close it out with the 7 golden letters, tying it up 2 apiece. And I want to point out that, like, coming back from a 2-1 deficit feels almost infinitely easier than the 2-0 deficit, right? Like, you win one game and you're back to tied. It brings it down to a best of 1 in that scenario.
Yeah, and I mean, with the matchup being like this, Pokey can absolutely do it. Falke is a character that can make that happen. The problem is, you know, a best of 1 versus 1 game after they've had the time to download you, very, very different conversation. And we've talked so many times about best of 5 Fluxwaves being a completely different beast. That being said, an unfortunate drop there a little bit late on the standing medium kick. Link still in the driver's seat. It's okay. We found the standing medium kick Link connect that time, and it is now set point for Fluxwaves.
It all came back from the character pick. The Poison just too strong. Sometimes you can't deal with it. It happens. But Pokey has now to get this back under control. They don't get a second chance here other than the loser's bracket. But they might not face Flux again after this.
Play a little bit slower, but again, you know, it's this thing where this is one of those matchups where the character who is ordinarily the one that is dictating the pace because of the strength of their ground game is actually forced to be the aggressor because they're getting outranged. Fluxwaves is really utilizing the whip stance and crouch fierce so effectively, and it's forcing Pokey to have to kind of be like, all right, I need to get inside of your range, not the opposite. And are we going to be able to do it? EX reversal as Fluxwaves goes to try to press the issue with the heel drop. Still has the life deficit, no V-gauge available, and just 1 bar. Crouch Fierce is going to connect, and Fluxwaves is going to take it 3-2 after the poison switch.
There you go, chat. But we are going to be hopping into this next match. SpaceBoy versus JustAKid, like Brad was just saying, and it's the Akira. Brad,
The Akira.
the last time you were here, SpaceBoy adamantly said they were only playing Luke Sakura. And yet here we are.
Every single time I check in with SpaceBoy, SpaceBoy is playing a different, you know, series of characters. I think at Evo it was like it was either just Luke Sakura or just Akira Sakura.
I think that was ECT,
you know,
too.
yeah, well, so at ECT I called because, you know, he had said that to me, and then I started seeing a whole lot of Rose out of him.
Yep. I remember the Rose. The Rose is kind of good. I like the Rose. But here we go. Grabs the V-trigger activation out of JustAKid. But you still gotta hold this block. It's V-trigger 1, Juri. It's not that V-trigger 2 you're used to playing up against Giyu.
Yeah, I mean, the difference is the V-Trigger 1 is sort of the more traditional loadout for Juri. I mean, it's even Feng Shui Engine was the thing that, you know, Juri players played a lot in Street Fighter 4, so it's really the iconic tool for her. V-Reversal comes out from JustAKid, who has a slight life deficit now as a result of getting anti-aired in and having that V-Trigger on the table for SpaceBoy on the Akira. That V-Trigger 2, oh my god! Empty jump baits the anti-air into the low forward whiff punish. What a great series of decisions out of SpaceBoy.
It all works out. Oh, that round start. Definitely tough there for SpaceBoy. Not going to be able to get the exact punish they were looking for, but JustAKid taking full advantage of this corner push. Going to take him all the way deeper. Pew one side, fully in control with the activation.
Right, playing some neutral. Okay, crush counter starter here for JustAKid, who drops the jab link after.
Oh, definitely has that read. Take it to the sky. Full combos. Takes him again to the air. Oh, we got Dragon Ball combos right now. That was a throw tech. That was a whip.
That was a, so that was like a shimmy into an actual throw attempt. That was so much, the amount of how much are you going to respect me that was just answered. But I love how SpaceBoy is trying to approach this ground game between the utilization of the low forward underneath standing medium kick, as well as, you know, trying to bait out these different tools. But that is a hard life deficit to pull back from, and JustAKid pulls around on the board for themselves.
That was a hard fought round. That was long and arduous. We were under 40 seconds on the clock there. It's tough. But another great round start here for JustAKid. Gets the crush counter. Both of them are fully loaded on EX points as well. Like, they are pitted to the gills. They're both going to let him rock. And here comes SpaceBoy.
Yep. Using out that V skill for the big launcher. We're trying to push as much stun as we can so that the next decision will stun. Oh my god. Standing short catches the V shift there, but it's fine. We lose out on the stun, but whoa, JustAKid let that rock from an entire other zip code.
Yeah, they must have been expecting like a double dash option coming in there from SpaceBoy, but it's quite far away. But
no, you know what I bet it was? I bet that JustAKid was reading that SpaceBoy was going to try to commit to like a either like standing fierce or like shoulder or standing roundhouse into V-trigger, and that it was like, okay, well, SpaceBoy's going to play for activation, so I'm going to blow him up for it. And SpaceBoy just already had that read on it.
The read on the read on the read, chat. How many levels are you going down the rabbit hole when you're playing this game? It's clearly not enough, because they're on screen, not you.
I mean, between this set and SpaceBoy's set to get into the winner's side, I think SpaceBoy probably binge watches Reading Rainbow when they should be working.
I mean, that's just a good use of time.
Yeah, there's no complaints there. The only person complaining right now is JustAKid, who is getting absolutely mauled in this corner. First round in game 2 going to SpaceBoy. JustAKid was barely even allowed to play that game. The only decisions they could make were the wrong ones.
I mean, they got the V-trigger, and that was the end of the round, right? They activated, they got a raw jump out from SpaceBoy, who didn't even, you know, push a button on landing, and then he won out. But they're making up for it this time. They got the stun, they got the charge up there with the V-skill, and they got bombos. They're coming together.
Okay, frame traps connect. What an answer. What a clapback. Damn near a perfect round out of JustAKid. Both sitting pretty loaded with EX bar, and it's been interesting. You know, they both end up using it pretty differently. I feel like Juri doesn't tend to kind of need it as much as how SpaceBoy really uses it on like EX shoulder, or trying to make you know, other tools happen. Maybe using EX fireball after the V skill if he's able to get the big you know, rival schools launcher started. The back foot goes fishing with the standing fierce. Not gonna find it. Okay. Start combo starter.
Gets the knockdown there as well. Chases down the V.
That's so active!
That's crazy. Capcom did not think that one through.
V-shift back from SpaceBoy to avoid the jump in.
Hello?
Didn't want to deal with it. How dare you? This is my space. Get out of my top 8.
Still live. You got one more second here in the round of the game 3.
Standing short. Well, Akira's standing short is pretty good. Back throw, though, not ready for that V-trigger empowered dash. Oh, the V-trigger activation out of SpaceBoy, though. You think your fireball keeps you safe?
Akira
Ah,
wins.
hold that. Hold that all day long. SpaceBoy taking the lead here. 2 to... Oh, actually, it's 2... Oh, I thought it was 2-1. I was wrong. I thought it was less busted than it is.
The Akira pick, SpaceBoy's playing great right now. Unfortunately, overcommits to the V skill there and gets punished for it, but V shift back just like that. We're completely comfortable resetting back to neutral. Akira has, I mean, it's not as much as Luke, but she has a little bit of that, you know, forward push with some of the tools that she has as well. And she has a lot of the things that represented in a character I think are very strong in SpaceBoy's hands. Chiefly, I love how effectively SpaceBoy plays with, you know, standing shorts like Sakura and like Akira, trying to reset back, really fishing with that EX lunge, and it's not going to work out. Still on the back foot. We've got Trigger on deck. I can't believe you were brave enough to crouching jab there, but you are going to get smoked out on a whiff punish, and JustAKid is going to get around on the board.
Yeah, he really went for it. He was full sail into that option. EP, though, going to be working out here. Yeah, this bracket was insane, chat. Like, I don't know how to tell you that if you're just now coming in, you missed a lot. Don't worry, it'll be up on the YouTube tomorrow. We got you. Next day delivery every time. We'll beat out Amazon in that regard. Trust us. That air throw.
Okay.
Has SpaceBoy been playing some Guilty Gear? Like, are they ready?
I don't know what they're ready for, but they certainly look generally ready for JustAKid. That being said, JustAKid
Oh no.
over with the jump. Oh, a little bit too hungry. This is the same sort of situation we saw, just the roles were reversed, where JustAKid made that read that SpaceBoy was going to have to play a little bit linearly to try to get that trigger activation. And V-Trigger 2 out of Akira, I know when she dropped, you know, calling in Daigo was, you know, the way, but V-Trigger 2 letting you make these sort of big calls and then keep your turn after, it's just so effective. It lets you play Street Fighter V very effectively. So JustAKid is making it a huge part of their game plan in order to shut that down whenever they can.
Oh man, that crush counter gets so far away. And then again, the most active button in the game coming through here. Oh no, is that supposed to connect? I don't know. If it was, that's sick. If not, then nice try. Oh, but the crush to close it out. They just weren't ready. They weren't ready.
Okay, set point for SpaceBoy to close this out over JustAKid and bring us a SpaceBoy Fluxwaves winners finals. Is JustAKid going to be able to keep this going? Really struggling to deal with chiefly the standing fierce out of Akira, it seems like.
Did you see how close to the ground those air buttons were? He's definitely been playing Guilty Gear. He's ready to go liminal, but oh no, JustAKid gets the read. You're dead. See you next round.
Yeah.
So that's JustAKid, again, fending off defeat here on the winner's side. Trying to just stay in this bracket, wanting to make it to that winner's finals. That's just ahead of him.
Right? Buffer, the elbow is still safe. Oh my god, this anti-air coming out of SpaceBoy, it's been so clean. Really fishing with that standing roundhouse. Finding the throw in the negative frames, JustAKid wasn't ready. Empty jump low forward is such a strong part of this toolkit here for SpaceBoy. We've seen it a couple of times, but that low forward now coming out of JustAKid through that, you know, spacing trap, blowing up those stand strong.
And look at this sequence. It's going to be just short of stun, so you got to be careful on wake up. That's an option.
Oh my god!
That is certainly an option, and is it going to be enough to close it out? No, not yet. Needs one more touch.
We get another turn. Slight delay into low short. Another turn. What's it going to be? Crouching jab comes out of JustAKid, who didn't believe, but the jump in trade works out for SpaceBoy, who is going to close out the set 3-1 and move on to the winner's finals. A ground game that threatens Metro, or are we going to have to, you know, really fight to get into range 0, be the aggressor? and start to play that way. We obviously always can just represent trying to go to the air and highlighting the weakness of Claw's anti-air game.
That is something that we've talked about a lot, is the lack of anti-air game that Vega could really bring to the table. And what we've seen here from Giyu is that they're pretty willing to take it to the sky. And so I can tell you with confidence, Brad, that these two players played 2 weeks ago here at Casa itself. In top 8 even, and it was Giyu taking it 3-1. Actually,
I can believe that. I think just on the terms of the character matchup, right? Like, even if, if the tools are only, comparable, Juri still has a great walk speed. She can represent, we'll say a pseudo fireball. Actually using the V skill too, so we can get a second pseudo fireball if we get the store in the back.
Just like that.
In the back foot, there's that V skill store indeed, but unfortunately Metro M commits and uses the Rose, corners themselves, and is losing a lot of bar on the back of that V trigger too. We still have that fireball in the back. We're just gonna buffer into the CA and close out this first round here is Giyu.
Giyu super ready on the trigger there. Does not want to give any type of round timing over to Metro. They know how scary this pick can be. Even once you bust off the claw and the mask, right? It's still a kind of scary character. And Metro is just so good at the character that you have to be so careful. So, and also, you're running V-Trigger too. Like, you can steal all that meter back, just like you literally just did it. You stole all that meter. You're a thief.
Okay, standing short activation. Just like that, we get to press the issue. We are going to jump forward. Oh my god! I was about to say you're going to steal the corner, but no, Giyu stole everything except the corner. Stole some extra life, staying on the same side. It's fine. Metro M is able to find the opportunity to activate, throw out the Rose, get out of the corner. But with Giyu being able to jump out of the corner themselves now, Metro M has a life lead, but a positional deficit as they are trying to inch forward. Claw is now gone, so they lose some of the ground control that they would have had, and you can see Giyu already trying to represent standing medium kick a little bit more, since Metro M without the claw is not going to be able to compete with it just as well. But what a whiff punish out of Metro M.
Yeah, didn't have enough to close it out, but they know that this is still one-touch territory here for Giyu. Has the CA on deck, goes for the throw, gets it. Gets the mask off. Does it again? Not enough. Needs one more. But the wake-up buttons coming in from Metro to challenge out. Stays alive in game one.
That was scary. That was a spot where, the possibility existed of you maybe trying to play for chip, but Metro obviously had some V gauge in the back. But Metro choosing to spend take the risk on wake up buttons there is very interesting, right? Because it's like you would think they would play more defensively. Giyu is firmly in the driver's seat right now. Slide not choosing to activate, which maybe should have been the call. I think maybe Metro wanted to wait until they were a little bit farther away from the corner, but you're not going to get to do that. You cannot take these resources with you into the next round. That's why Giyu cashed it out, and you're down 1-0 in this loser's side match.
Yeah, this is the losers round 1 match here, chat. This is the first round that these players are playing here in top 8. 3 out of 5 the whole way through, like we've already mentioned. So Metro is going to have the time they need to adapt, right? Like, they do get guaranteed 2 more matches minimum. And it's all going to be Vega. It's all going to be Juri. We've never seen either of these players play anything else. So this is where the adaptation comes in, and Metro is insanely good at that.
But I mean, Giyu has been performing so well playing against, basically all of the best players in America at this point. I can't speak to. You said that they have played before like 2 weeks ago, but I've not seen it. So I end up wondering, yeah, Metro's great at making those adaptations, particularly in these longer sensos. It becomes 3 out of 5, but Giyu is an incredibly strong player with a very strong character who I think has all of the resources necessary in order to make this hard for Claw.
Yeah, I mean, it's really showing right now. Even though Metro has the life lead, they're still being forced back away, and they're forced to make it a 1-button game here. But I think they should have enough to close it out here. Just full spend. Yeah, definitely has enough right at the end.
Round 2.
Okay, first round on the board for game 2 here, going to Metro M. But Giyu is sitting on plenty of resources given how much Metro M had to commit in order to make that happen. But I love that Metro M is playing a much more actively. You can see it's not a dissimilar adaptation than the one that we saw from Metro M earlier when we had seen their match previously. You know, if you are struggling to deal with someone who can compete on the ground, playing more actively taking space and giving them more to think about is one way to give the illusion that they can't actually compete on the ground at all. And this is looking so dominant, using a lot of this neutral jump, adding verticality, standing fierce, smoking the Metro M. Such a clean 2 rounds to bring this to 1 game apiece.
Yeah, Metro making that adaptation at the right time, able to come through, and even right at the end, I really liked the ranging that they're putting themselves in, right? That pocket that we spent so much time talking about. It looked like they were so far away, and then Giyu thought they had the time to go for the charge, and Metro was just so ready with the long range button to close out the round. And even here, waking up buttons after a throw and getting out ahead. Oh my Lanta, just going for the charge on the charge on the charge. Gets the forward throw again.
So I like that choice actually coming out of Giyu, because if Metro is playing a more methodical ground game and is going to give you space and sort of wait for you to overcommit to stuff, then you can use that to be like, well, I'm going to make you come to me, because if you don't, I'm going to generate these resources and it's going to make life harder for you. Case in point, gets the resources, cashes out the axe drop into the V-trigger. Wow, that killed. I actually thought he might have had a hair. He might have had a hair left, but no. Round on the board for Giyu.
Yeah, you gotta be so careful with these life deficits, because they can so easily just turn into round losses. With both of these characters, they do so much damage at the last second, it feels like. And look at this, we got the fireball set up. Giyu went for the grab, and the grab got grabbed. And now, this mid-screen duel coming out again. Metro with the right read on the buttons. Metro just looking so good. Rips out the CA. Gonna take all the damage for its worth. And this is a huge life lead. I don't see how Giyu comes back from this, and they get frame trapped.
Yeah, I mean, the path forward there, it's at least 3 touches for victory, but if you're gonna get smoked out, it only takes 1 touch to lose. But we're still 1 round and 1 game apiece. Throw starter here for Giyu. Okay, really starting to open up the throw game. Wanted to fish for that standing strong, but you can see that Metro M is still firmly in a I'm gonna back off rather than I'm gonna contest mode.
Yeah, doesn't want to overcommit, but look at that. So down tech buttons from the Vega player. Always very successful. Busts the claw right off. Still has the mask though. Nope. Did. Alright. But look at that. Trigger activation. Knockdown.
Okay. Fair bit of frame delay there to try to get stuff farted. Oh no! An unfortunate drop. I think Giyu should have been able to close that out there just to confirm into CA would have killed it. Nice anti-air off of the off-the-wall. Goes to chase the V-shift down. We're not going to get it, but that is going to be chip to get us to 2 games to 1 here for Giyu over Metro M. It is a 3 out of 5 set, though. I said that a little bit too definitively. We've got a whole other, we have as many as 3 more games still. Metro M can absolutely still make this happen. So much of this is about the pace. If Metro M finds that rhythm at round start and is in the driver's seat and really starts to press the issue early, they do really effectively. But if Giyu finds enough breathing room to reset it back to real neutral and get in and start to be the aggressor, it's so much harder for Metro M.
It's been really down to the wire. Every game, every round, everything, every interaction even, just coming down to the bare minimums or bare maximums. I don't really know how to phrase that, but look at this again. Just the most neutrally you've ever seen, chat. Both of them trying to do whatever they can to stay ahead.
Trying to start the pressure. These slight walk forward into the low shorts. You can see the Giyu is still trying to catch out Metro on the walk back. We saw that, you know, Metro was demonstrating that they were sort of holding back or dashing back out of a lot of the shimmy situations. but they're really waiting until the throw game gets represented. They're definitely defaulting to take the throw. Finding the throw there, as I said, a second throw. Take the throw indeed. Just go for the third if you had gone for the third, Giyu.
Oh, this projectile not gonna work out that time. Wall hop? That's tricky. Oh, that was a really far counter hit. That's crazy that worked out. V shifts the grab attempt though, so you can't get touched here. There's no V reversal.
Standing medium kick, but no confirm after. Finds the throw though, and it is now set point for Giyu, looking to move forward and play against JustPokey in the loser side, top 8. Gonna have to see how is this gonna go.
This is, again, just super tight chat. They both want this so bad. They know who lies ahead of them in this bracket. Winner here gets to go up against JustPokey, who's been playing their heart out all night long as well. And they don't want their run to end here in losers round 1. This would honestly be such a disappointment for both of these players who have so consistently made it to the top 30 here at Casa.
Giyu has really struggled to find what the read is if Metro is doing anything but just blocking. Going for that, throw there, just seeing the backdash immediately. Thankfully, Giyu has Metro M stuck in the back. The throw game is starting again. Goes for the shimmy, gets counter-poked out of it. Giyu still not having that read. This is exactly the thing that could put Metro M back into the driver's seat of this set.
Nope.
The life... Nope, never mind. Allied low forward connects, and Giyu is going to be able to cash out and close it out 3-1. Close set when they played on the winner side. Giyu did take game 1, but JustAKid made the adaptation over the span of the next 2 games in order to close it out. But 3 out of 5, a very different story. We're gonna have to see. Okay, already catching out some of the extended hurt boxes of the attempt that JustAKid made to try to get the score. And now Umerogan already has JustAKid back at the corner. And this is an interesting difference. You had called out how willing Joe was to surrender space on the Luke, but a very different story here into JustAKid's Juri.
Yeah, I mean, you can really kind of push the tempo, right? Like, yeah, she's going to try and poke you off from afar, so you just do the opposite. You keep it close. You actually go for this brawler play style that, she's still good at, right? Juri's no slouch even in close range, but she's not going to just be chipping you away with that standing medium kick.
As you say that standing medium kick obviously is still a tool that you need to be cognizant of, and a lot of her block strings leave her in these spots where it's sort of at least for me as someone who hasn't necessarily done the homework as I should have. Okay, hold on, I will return to that thought. The V skill 2 catches out Joe trying to take his turn, has to trigger activate off of a reversal, caught out. Oh my god, dash forward, low short connects, but Joe is just hitting buttons. What is this? There is a through line here of Joe hitting buttons whenever JustAKid gets into range. It doesn't matter that you counter hit me at the start, I'm mashing.
Speaking of mashing, just throwing out that standing medium kick from Juri, interrupting the charge punch there from Luke. Gonna get the round. Does take a bit of damage here at round start, but if you can just keep yourself mentally strong like you were at the end of that round, you're gonna be rewarded. I mean, look at this.
Right, standing short with the X knuckle, trying to press the issue, catches out a meaty, working out for them. More wake up buttons coming out of JustAKid. That seems to be the consistent through line out of them so far.
Yeah, honestly, all the players tonight have loved wake up buttons, right? And they get so much off of it. It works again.
It's one thing if you know, right? Like, there are certain knockdowns where you can sort of know, like, all right, they only really get real stuff off of this follow-up and this knockdown. And so you can reasonably take these chances if you're paying attention to that kind of stuff. But in some of these spots, it's definitely just JustAKid making a hard call that they believe that Umerogan is going to give them space or play loose. And right now, one of those two things are true, and only Umerogan is going to be able to identify which and hopefully tighten up this game as JustAKid takes that first game.
They do have a lot of work to do, though, to get there. I mean, it's still JustAKid's Juri. They will take you for all you're worth, but if we're going to keep getting these nice little target combos, it's going to be a hard thing to come back from.
V-shift didn't want to do falling limb coming out of JustAKid. V-trigger activation comes out of JustAKid. That's fairly early in the set. But I guess, they are at 50% life. It just feels like I blinked and it was gone. Speaking of blink, no! Blink and you dropped the link! That is not what I want to see, JustAKid. Just land your links.
Don't worry.
Umerogan, why would you do that? No! Overcommits on the low forward. You had a chance. You blew it. Out of sight, out of mind.
Both players just playing at their limits. Gets the trip, gets the knockdown, but the wake-up back throw coming in from JustAKid to close it out.
Round 2.
Chat,
That
when
round
we tell you
was
that
stressful.
they're playing at their limits, they still have so much more Street Fighter to play here tonight, whether they win. Well, actually, if they lose, they get to go to bed, right? This is loser side. But they don't want to go to bed. They're trying to get that bread. And look at this. Back to the P2 corner. Just raw jump out, late crosscut.
Oh, went for the throw reset that was so greedy out of Joe Umerogan. Ordinarily a really smart spot for a reset, but JustAKid was so ready for it. Stun is now completely off the table. I don't think you kill. Oh, wow, I lied. Luke has damage. I apologize. I forgot for a second he had the might of the US military behind him. That is a dead character. I thought for sure JustAKid got another chance at life in that round.
Listen, man, he's got the Stars and Stripes 8. That is definitely a power-up. We've all seen anime. You got to be wary about the ones with tattoos. But, oh, gonna get that was really far away. I'm surprised that confirmed.
I mean, it's the same thing. I keep talking about it, right? Luke has this additional horizontal representation in a lot of his tools where he's blowing you up in a lot of spots where against a lot of the rest of the cast you should be safe. That was another spot where, you know, it could have worked out. It's just Joe Umerogan was a little bit slow on the pickup. Activation comes out from JustAKid. Has to cash out that EX, wants to keep it safe. Life about even once you consider Gray Life. They're both just taking turns.
Oh.
The second there's minus frames. Oh, if that had been a DP, you might have been dead, but it's fine. Because the Crouch Fierce connects and a game is on the board for Joe Umerogan.
They're just trading it back. It is full-on brawling tonight here, chat. And the players, they're coming out ahead. Doesn't matter who's winning, they're both ahead. But this is game 3 now between JustAKid and Joe Umerogan. One apiece. And I don't know who's going to take it. I could not tell you who feels like they have a lead because it feels about even.
Has corner control right now. Just oh, if we had confirmed off of that standing fierce, they would have been dead. Instead, Joe Umerogan gets the opportunity to bust out the V reversal. Oh my god, you got to get that jump in on the V shift. JustAKid was a little bit late on trying to make something happen. No, gets the sand blast instead of the DP. What's the opposite of a cross cut? Man cut across the lanes and was all kinds of wrong. Clipped by the low short. You're still alive. Gets another chance at a reversal. Joe Umerogan is just being handed chances.
I don't know how they're doing it, but they finally tripped themselves up there by walking into the projectile. Yo, shout outs to Ham Jams, the Twitch Prime sub. Thank you. Make sure to DM Bunch what Matcherino you want to support. Or just put it in chat. Bunch is watching chat too. But look at this round, Brad. It's already going so well here for Joe Umerogan, who did, by the way, call this bracket easy, I want to say.
We're going to have to see. They are sitting at 1 game apiece, but down around right now. That was JustAKid probably going for the back throw there. Dash underneath. You had to know the dash underneath was coming. Trying to press the issue, keep this corner control going.
Grimy. Grimy. He just knew he was going to fireball. The EX flip over, gets the stun, gets the win, takes the lead. JustAKid not wanting to go down just yet.
Yeah, we're going to have to see if Joe Umerogan is... I think that round, that game even, would have been more dominant for JustAKid if Joe Umerogan wasn't, you know, keeps living off of these errant pixels and these slight mistakes. If JustAKid cleans up their game, this is going to be hard for Joe Umerogan to make this happen. And you're seeing a lot of jab checks now coming out of JustAKid, who is trying to adjust to the way that Joe Umerogan is trying to really actively press forward.
You're just spending health, right? Like you specifically, Brad, talk about how this game can be so transactional, right? You have to spend health to get in. You have to spend meter to get in. You have to spend space to stay alive. And Joe Umerogan is going into some debt right now.
Round 2.
We call that tech debt. You got to start teching the throw or you're going to be in debt on your life. Overcommits to the EX flash knuckle. JustAKid sitting real secure right now. Even has a little bit of stores in the back. Has the EX bar. Joe starting to represent standing medium kick a little bit more in the kit. Catches with the low forward, trying to press the issue. And up back out of JustAKid. That cross up. That was grimy. I was not ready for the cross up to hit at that angle. We don't get the cross cut there.
Oh, great jab check. That might be enough to close it out. That is going to do a grip of damage, but it's not enough. Stays alive. Just goes raw. Activate to bait out the DP. Joe Umerogan getting read like a book.
Nobody told me that 623 was a Canadian area code, but now I know. Joe was trying to bust out with reversals so much in that set. Man was trying.
Super fire, because it is Flux living on the Menat.
Yep, versus SpaceBoy, who does make the jump over to the Luke in this, I'm going to say player matchup, because I suppose it was not going to be a character read unless maybe they knew that Fluxwaves was really leaning on the Menat so far this evening.
Oh, but we got anti-airs coming through. SpaceBoy definitely on point for those. Gets the suppression again and again.
Oh,
that's a
my
stun.
God.
That's a round win. How are you gonna get hit by that twice in that scenario?
SpaceBoy this evening is a speed reader. I swear to you. And one of the big differentiators is, you know, we're seeing a couple of Lukes that try to represent that V skill 2 over the V skill 1. And we just saw some of the effectiveness of it, right? It gives you that sort of pseudo backsway with that guard point to really try to blow somebody up if you feel like you have a read on how they're going to counterpose. And I feel like that's something that's going to go a long way to slow Fluxwaves on this character and make them not feel comfortable taking their turn in spots where they should be. Oh, the double jab does blow up the armor on the EX run.
Oh my God, the triple dash crush counter. Some real life Mario Kart right there, chat. And now look at this SpaceBoy continuing to pressure up forward. Does get that one bar of EX on deck, but close anything back with that V trigger.
Life lead here for SpaceBoy, who catches out a little bit of those JoJo punches. Does find the anti-air. Men's really walked halfway through the screen and caught Fluxwaves just trying to jump forward and claim some space. But I'm sorry, sir. My DPs are on point. First game on the board for SpaceBoy. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I have every expectation that we're jumping to a new character already.
I would probably believe so. Yep, there it is. Right back to the character select screen. Oh, where did SpaceBoy go?
I don't know. Somebody got to double check.
Oh,
Somebody gotta fill in
his
the
computer
blank.
froze. Computer froze.
Oh, man.
Hopefully we can get that back together. All right, I'm gonna do this real quick, chat. I'm gonna bet on SpaceBoy not being back in a minute and a half, and if I bet wrong, I'm sorry, chat, but them's the breaks. I do want to
If
take
you
a second.
buy wrong, then you have to sub to the channel.
Yeah, I mean, listen,
Subscribe next time, loser.
yeah, definitely, you know, support the Matcherino, support us here at Casa. You know, we both appreciate it. I'm sure the players are super happy with the Matcherinos. But what was I going to say? I was going to say, I'm super thankful that chat, I mentioned it earlier that we were 15 followers, away from 700, right?
Gift it. Gift it.
We are currently at 710 followers. So we've actually gained 25 followers here on Twitch today. Thank you guys for coming through and supporting us. And I'm loading it up. Oh, I got buddied by an ad myself.
Wait, did you just get an ad while trying to run an ad?
Yeah, I got pre-rolled.
Do we need to tell them?
No, they're good. It's okay.
To
No,
not
we're
play?
good now. We're
Yeah,
good
we're
now.
good now.
Oh, all right.
Good-ish. Alright, I'm just gonna do that from the Casa account, so I take advantage of the money that's already on there. Of course it goes to Dom.
Of course it goes to Dom.
There we go.
That's some next level collusion, chat.
All right, where you want this dollar to go?
Throw
right,
it in
Dom.
Strive. Throw it in Strive.
All right, strive.
But no, we're back. Chat. We're back live. The ad is over. The players are back. We got SpaceBoy versus Fluxwaves.
Who is staying on the Menat. That's interesting and would not have been my assumption given how that first round went.
It is what it is, as they say on the internet. And I mean, Flux looked a little rough on the Menat last set too that we saw them in, but they were able to, you know, bring it back and make it work out. But stuff like that, you cannot be dropping against a character like Luke. They're gonna take you for your life.
Okay, well, Fluxwaves is, has really found SpaceBoy in that pocket. You know, you kind of want to be able to get your opponent sandwiched in between. You want to do one of two things, right? You either want to zone them effectively, or you want to get them sandwiched between yourself and the orb. And that's sort of how you generate those damage opportunities for yourself. And Fluxwaves did a much more effective job of finding that pocket so far in this round. But with their backup against the corner right now, SpaceBoy has plenty of damage available to them. Oh no.
That's a lot. That's a group of damage. Only needs one more. Get some frames. That jump over though, kind of sketchy. I don't know how I feel about this scenario anymore. We got.
Oh,
he
still
can't
alive?
He can't be shift. He cannot be reversal. He has to hold the chip.
I am so surprised that SpaceBoy didn't just like bust out with an EX reversal at some point. Even before it got to that point, the fact that that throw came out first and set up the chip kill. Oh, okay, smart out of SpaceBoy walking forward on the orb retrieval, and you know the throw tech animation ends up keeping them from having to deal with the plus frames of blocking the orb. So sort of using Luke's movement options to try to turn the orb play into a zero-sum game. Very interesting.
As they do get in though, spends a little bit of bar for the plus frames. I like the reversal. Doesn't really get you out of danger though, because Menat can just keep walking at you. She's got orbs for days. And this is that interesting scenario that you kind of brought up last set, where Flux can kind of just walk you down following the little orbs and try and get something afterwards, but SpaceBoy not gonna give it up just that easily.
It has a slight life lead, still 2 orbs in the back. SpaceBoy does have to activate. The chip damage is a big equalizing factor here. V-Trigger is already gone. SpaceBoy getting the life lead after that, and my Sandblaster is faster than your orb. I get around on the board.
Man, he really just threw sand that fast. I can't feel good. I wonder if he can take the paint off the car. Oh, that was kind of sketchy. Flux spending a little bit of EX there, but I don't think they had the read on the spacing just right, and they kind of got lucky the space didn't punish it.
Managing to try to press the issue as the orb retrieval goes in again. Fluxwaves does have that life lead, getting away with some of these dash forwards, and you can see SpaceBoy is really trying to, you know, make some more aggressive calls to call out Fluxwaves for trying to claim some space more actively, but it's just so hard. Once you are stuck in that pocket, you need to make a drastic change, exactly like that EX run, armoring through everything. That is the type of drastic change that you need to make in order to swing the matchup back into your favor. And activation is going to come out right into the throw game. Are we going to force any of these resources out of Fluxwaves? Oh, that was incorrect, sir. One more touch will do it. Neutral jump back throw. Activation comes out right into CA. The orb's in the back, nothing comes of it. SpaceBoy is in such a dominant position now. EX Sandblast connects, and all you have to do now is not mess up.
That, I definitely think Flux was trying to catch the backdash there. Using the time stop, they saw that the animation was mid-screen still. They thought they had the time, too far away though. But yeah, once that's gone, once the trigger's gone, because they both went at the same time, that there really wasn't any tools left for Flux in that scenario. And now you definitely have to swap characters, I think. I don't think... Never mind.
See, what I was gonna say is that game was so much closer than the first one that I actually could believe that Fluxwaves would try to let this one rock.
It is still winner side.
Yeah, and Fluxwaves is getting more comfortable locking down SpaceBoy in that pocket that they need to have him in order for her to do everything that she wants to do. Here's the problem. SpaceBoy has such a great read on when Fluxwaves is feeling confident and is surgically chipping away at that confidence. That reversal was masterful. Getting that throw, it's the same situation. Slight walk forward. You think I'm going to block the orb? No, sir. I'm taking that space. V-shift back. Any touch, I thought any touch would do it, but no, still alive off the standing medium kick. Back throw comes out of Fluxwaves, who is down 3 of their orbs. Throw after that?
Yeah, they got the trip up by the low orb. So I think Flux wanted, not Flux, I think SpaceBoy wanted to go for an anti-air, but they actually got hit by the, like I said, the low orb and totally just kind of threw him for a loop. But Flux still has to make this work, has the CA, but isn't going to get the chance to use it.
Huge set point for SpaceBoy, looking to try to clean sweep over Fluxwaves on the Menat pick. And I feel like this is going to be hard pressed. You can see that SpaceBoy is, you know, are they ending up in the pocket more where Fluxwaves really wants to do what they're trying to do on the screen? Yes, but they're getting that sensation that once they're in that spot on the screen, Fluxwaves is really going to press the issue, and they're taking bolder choices exactly like that in order to get out of it. And now we incorporate the fantastic reads that SpaceBoy was making earlier. That read on the V-shift, huge.
Yeah, it just buys you so much space, even with the life deficit the way it is. That activation actually kind of scary if you think about it, right? SpaceBoy now loses access to V reversal, V shift of any kind for pretty much the rest of the round, right? Like it's always going to add up. They would have to just full spend it right here, but chip is a factor.
This could be next level bait. This could be like SpaceBoy's like, whatever, I'll activate, and either I chip away at you and am able to win out the round, or you try to chip me and I get to go into a final round with a huge meter advantage.
I don't think you want to be doing that though, but you can see Flux kind of has that same idea. They don't want to give up that meter advantage because like there's no chance at a reversal here. You can just CA it as long as, you know, he doesn't jump out, and Flux is actually going to stay strong enough to get it done without spending any meter.
Okay. Being able to save that bar, huge. I love that Fluxwaves had the patience in order to try to make sure that they didn't cash that out when they had such a strong life lead as they did. It's really common to feel as though you need to finish your plate, but you're on the back foot here. You can't risk putting yourself in a hugely disadvantageous position. You have to play actual neutral right now. You both are using these resources very differently, and you would be in such a worse spot if you had cashed that out in the last round.
Oh, that's a huge pickup though. Drops it, but able to get it right back to SpaceBoy. Risked it all, bet it all. Took a ton of damage for it. Does it again? Oh! You're kidding me. SpaceBoy. In this economy, you cannot be spending like that, my man. It's a recession out there.
Fluxwaves 100% just tuned into SpaceBoy's cable. It's like reading Rainbow. I love this show. Such a strong life lead here, and the whiff punish on the Standing Fierce is going to close out that game and stave off a 3-0. 2-1 now, still in SpaceBoy's favor, but Fluxwaves, that was a huge turn that Fluxwaves definitely needed in order to bring this momentum back into their favor. And the fact that it was on these huge callouts from SpaceBoy, he may be tunnel visioning.
Which makes this a little interesting, I think, right? We've gone back to character select. This time, it is SpaceBoy's turn. They made it happen on the Luke, right? They took the 2-1 lead. Or it was 2-0 lead at the time, but it feels like is now the time to character swap? Do they think that Flux has the Luke read? Do we get the Sakura? Do we get the Akira? Do we just go right back to the Luke with maybe a different setup?
I don't see a different setup. I feel like it's very common that SpaceBoy, you know, on the Luke is always playing that, you know, V system loadout. So I would be surprised if that were to change It's either a
It
character
is.
swap, which
So it's the V-skill
Oh,
change. It's V-skill 1.
interesting. Maybe the read here then is that, you know, if with the game being slower, you'll get more opportunities to cash the V skill, and it forces Fluxwaves to be an aggressor a little bit more, which is good for you, because if Fluxwaves has to be more aggressive, there's more opportunities for you to press the issue. Maybe that's the call.
I really don't know. It's been a minute since we've seen this V-skill 1 loop, in all honesty, so let's see if it makes that much of a difference. I'm kind of struggling to think it will, but gets the V-shift, blocks the break, and punishes accordingly, I'd say.
A slight left deficit, but still has that V skill. Here's the other thing, though, is I feel like most of the time you see that V skill from Luke get cashed out is off a low forward. And SpaceBoy's struggling to get into range to even use that low forward and cash it out. Okay, no, you can get it off a standing strong as well. That's totally fine, too.
Spends a little bit of cash trying to get that vacuum in, but oh no, didn't low profile the sandblast. That's a tough situation. That time it's successful, though. Oh, that's gonna hurt.
Already, there's 30 seconds left on the clock. This is already such a slower matchup. It seems like SpaceBoy, yeah, with that V skill, has steered into the skid a little bit and is allowing for this to be a little bit slower, using that V trigger to close it out and get back onto set point. Right? Fluxwaves is being a little bit more of the aggressor here. SpaceBoy really hasn't had the chance to back off and start playing their own game. About 50% down on life. Stun has mounted. Only just now trying to throw the fireballs out and start to represent some threat from a slightly farther range. Fluxwaves still in the driver's seat, gets away with the dash forward into the throw. A jump in lands for SpaceBoy here, though. That is a huge equalizer. Cashes out the 1 bar for about a 50% of Fluxwaves' remaining life, and pushing Fluxwaves all the way back to the corner. V-reversal gets them through that first orb and the second orb. I want no orbs, sir. Take your orbs home.
Definitely risking it all with that. Makes it safe with the rest of the V trigger. But man, was that a spend and a half. He's going all in on that read. Even gets the shimmy.
Oh my god, Fluxwaves. 3 out of 5 Fluxwaves is a different beast. We have been saying it for like 3 years at this point.
Yeah, and I mean, this might not be their given character that we're so used to, but what is that combo? There was so much juggle time.
I'll tell you what, it wasn't a combo. Unfortunately, SpaceBoy cashing that extra EX bar at the end by mistake. Gets away with that V-skill store because the up warp goes over them.
Oh no. Flux spent the cash and the orb was too far away, so it didn't do any of the things they were hoping for.
All right, press the issue off of that V-skill. Just like that, they're in range 0, but SpaceBoy still being pretty patient. Low forward connects, counter hit even, but no confirm out of SpaceBoy. I think with this V-system loadout, it's a little, you tend to see that Lukes that use this, if they don't have the V-skill, they're not looking to confirm off of low forward.
Yeah. That target combo into activation. Oh, that was gonna be enough. That was so close. Has no option. I don't think that was what Flux was expecting to happen, honestly. And I mean, good on SpaceBoy to have that type of read, right? You're staring down a Menat that has all 3 bars of V reversal available. V reversal, V shift, whatever she wanted to do. The world was her oyster, and we didn't get it. JustAKid versus Giyu for the 2nd time tonight. The Juri mirror is live and happening. And last time this happened, JustAKid just barely at the end was able to shake out the victory. Giyu whiffed on a very unfortunate air juggle, but let's see if they can do it again. It was really a one-touch game at that point.
All right, Giyu off to a strong start. The frame trap working out, standing strong working out for them too. Finding the anti-air, we are gonna get the stun. Even getting all the stores in the back, I don't think we're gonna have the damage. No, we're certainly not gonna have the damage on table. I see you, Senpai. Wish I didn't. Back throw from JustAKid. Low forward into the activation. V-shift back from Giyu. I don't think Giyu is ever going to play V-Trigger 1 SpaceBoy. That is the consistent thing. But the inconsistent thing is that DP did not work out. JustAKid, this is a grand equalizer. There is trigger on deck for Giyu here. You can see that JustAKid is trying to make some stuff happen. Trigger activation. That slightest micro walk from JustAKid, who is still a pixel away, but the standing medium kick functions as a pseudo anti-air, catches Giyu trying to jump forward.
Another great round start coming in from Giyu, but round starts don't matter if the round doesn't end the same way, right? If you get the best round start of your life every single time, but you end up losing the round every single time, it does not matter.
Okay, falling limbs connect. JustAKid wants to trigger activate, does find it right into the throw, trying to press the issue. I'm going to remind everybody that when these two played in the winner's side, JustAKid took it 2-1. Trigger activation out of Giyu.
Stealing away all that meter, keeping the threat of the CA away from JustAKid.
Oh my god.
Over the low short.
And that's huge because Giyu is able to keep this bar moving forward into the next round, final round here of game one, with a huge meter advantage, which is going to lead to presumably a huge life advantage if we're able to find the opportunity to make it happen. But JustAKid is just a little bit too slippery. Wanted to go for a whip punish with the EX pinwheel. It's not going to connect.
Not that time. I like the throw punish there. Doesn't really have much else after the EX flip, but we take those. But there it is again. Great punish. Has the CA available. Doesn't want to spend it just there. Wants to save it for the closeout. Projectile. Crush.
Oh
Dash.
my god.
Oh no, again! The air is not Giyu's friend, but the trigger activation certainly is. Spends the cash, gets the kill, takes the game 1 here in loser's semifinal.
Can I just highlight how many layers were at play there? Giyu throws out the fireball. JustAKid immediately neutral jumps because presumably Giyu is going to press forward and try to use the frame advantage of the fireball on block to make a mix-up happen. But Giyu presses forward and anti-airs rather than dashing forward behind the fireball, understanding that JustAKid is probably not going to just block the fireball. Was so ready for that answer.
That's the type of play you get here at Casa Chat, especially in these top 4 matches. All the players are cracked out of their minds. And they're just gonna keep doing it for you, chat. You get to watch this week after week after week after week. It's amazing. It's awesome. Activation. Oh, almost has enough there to close it out. Didn't quite have the CA available. Back throw from JustAKid, though. This could be the start of something. Could have been. Could have been, chat. Trust me. I said could have been.
Alright, Giyu is looking dominant so far this time, but once again, I reminded everyone that JustAKid took this when they played on the winner's side. Here's the other reminder. Giyu took game 1 when they played on the winner's side as well. So there is definitely still the possibility, but JustAKid might need your energy there. If you're a JustAKid fan, it might be time to start pulling for them. On the back foot right now, nice stand jab check, and with that jump over, they are able to get out of the corner. So now just a slight life and meter deficit. No! Unfortunately, overcommits to the pinwheel and gets punished for it. No! That time had the hard read. There's no way he'll block it twice. Blocked it twice indeed, landing on the fireball off the air target combo. Giyu up 2-0.
The tricky stuff really starts coming out now. There is not a lot left in the tank when you get to the stage of the tournament, but when it does get here and you can start just slipping out these random things that you weren't able to do earlier, it is gonna catch people off guard. And that is exactly what we're seeing right here. JustAKid is just getting tripped up a little bit and Giyu taking full advantage.
Yeah, JustAKid's gonna be hard pressed to make this happen. I feel like Giyu is just, I wish we had gotten to see Giyu versus Pokey, because clearly whatever happened overclocked Giyu's Hatsune Miku processor over here, because they're playing at a whole different level than we had seen them operating on up in the winter side so far. Oh, what a whip punish.
I simply cannot believe you are hating on the brand colors, Brad. That overhead from JustAKid was so crazy that it worked out. It was from so far away, so random, but if it works, I guess.
Oh, the low forward connects on the dash forward. Goes for the back throw reset because I suppose Giyu wants a slightly better screen position. Overcommits to the pinwheel as well. JustAKid gets the V-trigger activation. Problem is, you're not going to get the damage because you don't have any resources in the back. I feel like JustAKid is using so many on like EX store.
Spend it! They didn't spend it. Oh, they didn't spend it at all. And now they might lose the round because of it. They literally built the 1 bar of EX for that combo in the middle of it. And now they're going to spend that. All right.
Okay, standing short. Okay, JustAKid needed that so much. I think being on the back foot and down that round would have been absolutely gigantic. Shimmy works out here for JustAKid. And it was that shimmy and throw game stuff that really worked out better for JustAKid in the winter side. But there's so much going to the air, and Giyu's anti-air game has been so strong.
Yeah, it has been immaculate pretty much all night long. So keep it grounded, try and win out on these neutral footsies. I like the V reversal there on the trigger activation. Oh, but Giyu again so ready for these anti-airs. Gets the juggle their way, spends it.
Oh, that was the long shimmy into the regular throw. Standing strong counter hit because JustAKid was woken up, hitting buttons, has to activate. We've got 1 bar in the back. Giyu actually hit buttons there. Crush counter starter, but we're a little bit too far away. Finds the back throw, cashing out a little bit more resources. That fireball just hit. Just hit.
Yeah, like Giyu just kind of stopped holding backwards. But now we got a couple more projectiles.
Oh! Catches the backdash of JustAKid with an actual pixel left. Preserves their tournament life on the loser side. It is now 2 games to 1.
Oh god, that almost killed me. The suction from my shock almost killed me.
You ever inhale so hard because what you're watching is sick that you almost die? If you haven't, you're not watching Casa.
Wait, Dan, what are we getting on a shirt? Ham jams or these nuts? Oh, ham jam. He literally said ham jam. No, we're not putting that on a shirt. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Look at that. We got round start coming in here from JustAKid. And they got this P2 corner on lock. They are not looking to give it up. And as I say that, the activation comes out. And they're just trading down tech buttons. That's crazy.
Yeah, there's a lot of like standing medium kick into axe drop that is immediately getting smoked out because the standing medium kick is causing air techs. And yeah, it does look a lot like down tech buttons. I'm feeling right at home in New England Dragon Ball right now. But no, it is the losers semifinals of Casa, one of the most stacked brackets we've ever had. Store ends up activating as like a counter poke there for JustAKid. Standing medium kick clips the axe drop, but JustAKid is able to close out the round.
And this is starting to look a little bit scary for Giyu, right? We talked about how you have to close out, whether it's a round, a game, a set. Like, you can have the best start. It doesn't matter because at the end of the day, everybody was only going to look at that W. But that was so crazy. The run under, getting the projectile to hit opposite side at the same time. Giyu trying to get the tricky shit out of the way.
Okay. Activation comes out from JustAKid, who is not able to chase down that V-shift. On the back foot in the corner here, trying to make something happen. Sweep into Fireball.
Anti-air
Press the
comes
issue.
in.
We do find the anti-air with the Standing Fierce. The end of our V-trigger, and JustAKid is on the back foot.
Activate into the standing reset. Doesn't even need to spend any meter. Just gets him with the jab.
Final round.
Okay, this is set point for Giyu, looking to make it up into the losers finals and play against Fluxwaves. Is JustAKid going to be able to keep this momentum swing going? Right now, they're on the life deficit right now. That overhead actually working as like a pseudo low crush, big crush counter right into the CA. Giyu wants that early life lead and wants the wiggle room to be able to play this round however they want. Oh, caught reaching.
I respect it. If you have the life lead, just goes for the neutral jump. That was kind of scary there for JustAKid. They got the block, but they gotta have to keep blocking. Get the V skill. The charge up was a little risky.
Yeah, an unfortunate call at that spot. You have so little life left, but you have some resources. You can do this in probably not 2 touches, but it's third with the extra par, but you can probably do this in 3. You still store. You've got the resources in the back, but the back throw, oh, just barely not going to do it. It wasn't a back throw, sorry. And Giyu is sitting so comfortable right now. 35 seconds left, and JustAKid has to be the one to be the aggressor here. Cashing out that B-Skill 2 store, that's something that's been catching people. They're not ready to respect it.
Oh, the raw V shift. That's problematic. That removes a lot of agency here from Giyu, and they're gonna let it slip. What's it gonna be? One more touch to do it from either side. Get the projectile, and the raw DP from Giyu. Too early. The nerves are in. JustAKid taking it to a game 5.
Oh my god! You can't see me, but I damn near jumped out of my chair. Wow, you still had the life lead. There was 20 seconds left. Just backdash. Just take the whole screen.
I mean, we saw the jitters, right? The V shift came in, full screen as well. The DP. It's just all coming together here for JustAKid. It is late in the night. We've talked about it. This set has already been played. It has to be in the back of Giyu's mind too, right? Like, they know how that last one ended. They don't want to repeat that.
JustAKid having a slight life lead now, and oh, actually even representing like standing roundhouse as an answer to some of the fireball stores that are coming out from Giyu. Giyu has the advantageous position. Jump short works to blow up the anti-airs that had come out. Oh, and that's what I wanted to see from Giyu. JustAKid just backing off a whole lot. My initiative is gone in the corner. Cool. I'm going to use this chance, reset back to neutral, and just get my stuff back. Trigger activation comes out from Giyu, who gets the back throw. Going to push JustAKid back into the corner. Big anti-air and a big damage.
That's enough. You're dead. No, you're not. The scaling was massive.
Yeah, there was trigger activation in the middle there. Oh, God. Activation comes out, wanted something of a reset with the fireball. No anti-air behind the standing jab, and Giyu finds the low forward. It's still set point for Giyu.
Giyu staying strong, has a massive meter deficit though. And that is something that they're gonna have to contend with, and just like that, JustAKid takes full advantage, and Giyu just earned that. They just earned that meter. Gets the trip.
Ooh. Interesting. That sweep was going to be made safe by the fireball, which is why JustAKid felt comfortable to be able to do that. This is such a strong spot to be in. Are we going to go to a final game, final round here in the Juri mirror to see who's going to close it out? Giyu doesn't want to. Finding the crush counter into activation, even cashing out the V skill 1 to be able to get the side swap and put JustAKid's back against the corner. Trigger slowly ticking away. A lot of it a little bit wasteful because Giyu has to back up so far that they're not actually stealing as much bar out of JustAKid as they might like.
Now JustAKid's gonna get the activation. Giyu gets
Oh
risky.
my god, Giyu!
Oh, but the punish is in. Doesn't have enough for a CA yet, but next sequence could very well give it to him. The V-shift, what is going on with Giyu's controller?
Right, cashed out all the rest of their V-trigger there to JustAKid. 35 seconds left on the clock. You need an actual hit to make something happen. Cashes out with the EX heel drop, and we're going to a final round.
Final game, final round. Losers, semi-finals, chat. Winner here just gets to go to losers finals. They still have a long way to go before grand. They are playing.
Was that V skill 1 anti-air on heel drop?
See, it was.
Oh! EX pinwheel just got smoked by the fireball. JustAKid was in a really strong spot, but Giyu finds activation into the V skill just like that. Life is about even. JustAKid busts out with the EXDP. Wants to get out of the way, just reset back to neutral. Nice whip punish. They were too far away for the V skill to actually connect in the way that Giyu wanted to.
Yeah, but now we got V skill. and V-Trigger just about gone for both players. There's a little bit left here for JustAKid, but what can they get done with it? They send out the projectile. The anti-air is not there. That could be enough to do it. There's going to be the CA. I think Giyu's done it. I think they get it. That's the kill. That's game 5 in the books.
I really wasn't sure. We've seen so many of it just barely not landing, but critically there was no V-Trigger activation. There was nothing to muck up your scaling there. Just Juri CA to close.
Or the Street Fighter 5 or Guilty Gear Strive. God damn it, I hate talking. All right, goodbye.
But with that, we're heading right back into our games. We got Fluxwaves versus Giyu on the screen. And this is going to be another big matchup because, as you guys can already see, Flux isn't playing around anymore. They went straight to the poison.
Yeah, you definitely can't, or I mean, shouldn't represent the Menat in this matchup. I think the walk speed, the tools that Juri has available to her, I don't think you want to try to play a methodical game against her. You want to represent, crouch fierce and whip stance stuff and really try to slow Giyu down. And you need to do it a little bit more effectively than we've seen so far. Thankfully, finding the standing fierce back throw does put Giyu's back in the corner.
We're going to have to try and get out of it, but this is looking kind of rough. Flux gets the Molotov. That's not enough to kill just yet, but look at the chase down. Look at the chase. Like, nobody's ever ready for poison to just run you down like that.
Yeah, I'm a little bit shook that didn't kill. I feel like Molotov damage is always so huge. That's one of the things they nerfed in this season, if I'm not mistaken, right? That used to be more. It used to be that, like, if she landed the Molotov combo on you, you just kind of got smoked.
Oh, that was a nice little check there.
Oh my god. Standing medium kick beat the standing fierce there. Interesting.
Yeah, timing just working out well for Giyu. Tries to keep pressure forward, though. Oh, but they just went too far away in the pocket. And the whip came out to punish them for such a silly thing. Oh, look at the damage. It's going to hurt. It's not stunned just yet, but you got to guess. You got to guess.
Oh, no. No, you don't. Instead, Giyu is going to guess reversal DP, earn themselves another chance at life. There's the activation met by Giyu reversal coming out of Fluxwaves. He does not want to allow Giyu the chance to start to press the issue. Being real active, the whiff punish as Giyu tried to press forward and make something happen. Not going to work out for them in the first game. Is on the board here for Fluxwaves.
Yeah, solid gameplay that entire time. And I mean, like, it's what we expect out of the poison, right? Like, we saw it in a couple games earlier. Looked super strong. This time, like I said, they've recognized they're in losers finals. They don't want to play around with the Menats. They just stick to what works because they know that sitting in grand finals is the person that knocked them down to where they are now. They want that run back against SpaceBoy.
Okay, this is a much stronger start for Giyu this time, who I think through the course of the evening, it feels like the matches for Giyu have gone one of two ways. Either the strike throw game goes their favor because they have the read on how their opponent is going to play, or what you just witnessed, which is the strike throw game going their way. Every jab, counter hit. Tick throws, working. Shimmies, Fluxwaves is reaching. And we didn't see that in the matches that Giyu struggled with.
That punish on the whip was sick. Using that EX cartwheel to get over. Oh, that was kind of grimy too. I thought we were going to get the whiff punish. But this P2 corner, Flux is going to have to get real friendly for a second because they are stuck.
Oh, has the anti-air on lock after the option select behind the regular throw. Giyu with a super clean round to close out game 2. That was so quick. I feel like loser semis down to the wire, but every game was drawn out. This one,
Lightning.
these two are swinging.
Yeah, just in a bottle, coming all the way through. Yeah, we got combos. Oh, what did I mess up?
Round 1. Fight.
Oh, yeah, that's not gonna be up. But look at that. Oh, that was, what was that? How did that work? I saw the little DM light from Bunch light up, and I was like, oh no, something's wrong.
It's just Bunch is just mixing you up in the back. Okay,
It's
sitting medium kick
PTSD.
check.
Oh, what? We got long legs coming through. Poison gonna get a full combo here. When does Giyu activate? Or do they? they might not, because that V reversal on the EX heart rate is very important.
Oh, gets the dash forward low short starter after the fireball. Has a slight life lead now, so you can be marginally more patient and finding the starter off the standing medium kick. I love that they chose to sacrifice the Oki for the B skill so that they could try to establish a punish if Fluxwaves commits into like a whip stance or anything like that. And that's another part of why it feels like maybe they're a little bit more willing to cash the exactly like that. You cashed that V skill earlier off of the knockdown, surrendered your Oki. It was so that you could find the swift punish. Huge.
That heart rate. Giyu getting a little bit big for the britches, challenging after the EX heart rate. It worked, but that is always risky business. You cannot be safe in that scenario. The EX heal drop though, definitely punishable.
Standing strong starter forces out the V reversal out of Fluxwaves. Standing medium kick starter this time coming out, pressing the issue in the back. We've got the trigger already activated here for Giyu. Another V reversal forced out of Fluxwaves, who is not getting to use the Molotovs in the way that we would traditionally see. Giyu is doing a great job of staying in the pocket and making it hard for Fluxwaves to feel confident defensively.
And look at that. Oh, the anti-airs again. Giyu's strong point tonight has really been there. That's more than enough damage to close out the round. 2 games on the board now for Giyu. Really looking strong here in these last couple rounds.
Juri wins.
Yeah, that's gonna require a pretty drastic answer out of Fluxwaves. I think this willingness to surrender Oki, go back to neutral, and bring out that V skill 1 is a big tool, because it's forcing Fluxwaves to have to be a little bit more patient in how they play the ground game. We are going to stay on the poison, which I think I agree with. I don't know that there's another character that I would have wanted to see Fluxwaves switch over to.
In this scenario, probably not, right? Because the Menat, I don't think is ready for this, and then that leaves the Miko, really, and I don't know, that just doesn't sound fun. It doesn't sound enjoyable. But I mean, you already want to give him poison too, right? So you know it's doable. You just have to get the game more to your tempo, which is something Flux has always excelled at, slowing games down to make sure that they're in control. But Giyu has been running their pockets and not letting them get into that groove. You're dead.
Okay. Oh my god, you actually were. Once again, every time tonight, I'm like, no, there'll be a pixel. I'm sure there'll be a pixel. The V-trigger is up, there's going to be a pixel. No, absolutely not. Giyu is looking so dominant right now. Wants that grand finals. Fluxwaves is really struggling to deal with just the maneuverability of Giyu and the variability of how they're representing different tools on the ground, making it so difficult for Fluxwaves to feel confident at any point. Finally finding a standing fierce to try to make something happen.
Yeah, that... It's an odd miss there from Flux. We typically don't see that, but activation time here from Giyu. Crouching medium punch, the God button for anti-airs. Chase is down, gonna get there ahead of the projectile.
The reversal comes out of Fluxwaves on the back foot position-wise, but does have the life lead. But you were too close for that crouching fierce. Giyu cashes out the bar on the punish. Slight life. Okay, wasn't ready for the anti-air as Fluxwaves got away with that jump back.
This is, just raw DP, stealing the turn, stealing it. And then,
the Molotov whiffs, but it's fine, crouching strong.
Yeah, that button, always a problem.
Final round. Fight.
That is a tough button to contend with in pretty much all scenarios, honestly. There's not a whole lot going on there where you're going to be, beating it.
Okay, this is still set point here for Giyu if they're going to be able to make this happen. Nice check on the forward dash. You can see that Giyu is really trying to be aggressive here and keep this momentum going. Finding the back throw after the V-trigger activation. V-reversal is going to whiff. This is the huge swing that Giyu needed in order to bring this back into his favor. But once again, the up back in Fluxwaves in the corner. Giyu is not ready to anti-air in the back of it.
Oh no! Another risky DP! And that's going to give Flux the game!
Okay, 2 games to 1. Or, I'm sorry, 2 games to 2 for Giyu.
Yeah, because there was that first game of the set that Poison just dominated, and Flux took it near no contest. This is game 5 coming in, chat, yet again between these two players, looking to make the rematches happen up in that grand finals. Not for Giyu, I don't believe. I actually don't remember who Giyu lost to in the pools, but
You lost to JustAKid just before
right,
winner side.
and that's already been avenged. The only story left is for Flux to make it back against SpaceBoy. That was a 3-1 matchup. That was the Menat. That wasn't the true power of Fluxwaves.
We're gonna have to see. Giyu is in a decent enough spot right now. Gets that throw off the trigger activation, trying to steal some of this bar. Even just being able to live in the pocket and ensure that they steal as much bar off of that V trigger as they can is already a huge differentiator. Every EX bar is an EX heart rate that you need to worry about, or
As you
even
say
more
that.
damage in the back. There's that one EX heart rate. Wake up back throw. You're still cooking.
That's a V shift, excuse me, coming out from Giyu, which actually removed their trigger. So I don't know if that was, I think that was intentional. I think they wanted something else. And the back throw coming in from Flux, giving them set point.
Okay, this turnaround. Giyu was looking so dominant and making it seem so difficult for Fluxwaves to make anything happen, but Fluxwaves being a little bit more reactionary, and Giyu has struggled with it. That back throw target combo there, making it that much harder for Giyu to feel as though they can press the issue forward, trying to push in through the fireball, getting a little bit of mileage out of it.
Giyu versus the heart rate. That's always been a big tool at getting Flux uncomfortable. Great whiff punish there with the EX as well. Has this corner control.
Okay.
Oh no! They went 2-4!
No! That's such a shame. That positional problem is going to spell everything for this round if Giyu is not able to take it. You have to work really hard in order to swing this back into your favor now, and Fluxwaves is understanding this, pressing, trying to stop the neck and close this one out. Giyu starting to press the issue. Nice call out on the throw tech attempt.
Crushed.
Giyu takes the life lead and the crush counter. No! Gets away with the jump in though. Didn't follow up on the crush counter, but we're still going to the final round of the final game.
Giyu almost not believing enough in the end of that round there. Almost threw it all away. But again, another great whiff punish there with that EX. Goes for it that time. It's blocked. Huge counter hit. I don't know what Giyu was pressing, but they're mashing. They're throwing every button here at Flux.
Yeah, I mean, they have Flux on the back foot up against the wall. They need to press the issue. Finds the crush counter with the standing roundhouse.
Blocks the V reversal too, so this tempo can keep going their way.
Okay.
Oh no!
Will it come out? No, no anti-air. It was a little bit too close, so they didn't find it. Trigger activates, met by a V reversal out of Fluxwaves, who is completely comfortable to just live here. Will sacrifice the bar if it means they get the life lead and screen control, but you're not going to. Instead, you're gonna get jumped out of the corner. CA activation. Fluxwaves finally, Giyu has an answer for the up back in the corner.
That was so huge coming in from Giyu. They had the read, they had the tempo, they just had to get it all together.
SpaceBoy and Giyu have gotten to play enough that SpaceBoy might make some Okay, no, you're right.
Yeah, I think the Luke is just the strongest character that, you know, SpaceBoy pilots right now. The advancing normals are really going to be huge here as long as he keeps his spacing on point, right? Because he can hang out just a little bit further away than, you know, Giyu would want him to. And if, you know, SpaceBoy gets the read, you just take that advancing normal and you get the whiff punish.
Yeah, I don't. If that was going to be the case, I mean, my justification for assuming something else was that I would have figured that that would have been the call against JustAKid. But yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe there's a stylistic player choice that's going on here. SpaceBoy is finding these whiff punishes though, exactly as you were speaking to, and you can see that a big part of his game already is like, hey, you want to use that standing medium kick? I know how to smoke you for that standing medium kick. V reversal meets the V trigger, doesn't want to deal with that on the back foot, and the crosscut DP as Giyu tries to jump out.
Yeah, SpaceBoy playing so patient. I love it. He's literally just sitting in that V trigger too. He knows he doesn't need the meter. He could use it, sure. But as long as he doesn't give up this hit, kind of like that, he doesn't have to worry about giving Giyu all the meter either. He can just sit back, wait for Giyu to approach, go for those crosscut DPs.
Oh,
that's tough.
Oh, yeah.
Now
How are we going to get enough damage out of this? Yeah, we had to cash out the 2 bars for it that we had, but you know, we take those round on the board, and you've got so much time to play around with as SpaceBoy, right? Winner side of Grand Finals, right on the top. Sure, take the rounds. Don't try to micromanage nothing.
Yeah, I was gonna say, even if we're betting like characters-wise, like Flux has, or not Flux, SpaceBoy has so many games behind him that they can just they can essentially throw them away, right? Because they have this set, and they have the next set, and they could also change characters every loss if they wanted to. They have enough in their repertoire. But right now, the Luke doing a really strong job, and look at that. Almost no other character is going to give you that type of punish right there.
Yeah, no, that's a really good point, right? The being able to blow up Juri for trying to get stores is a huge deal because it forces her to be on this back foot. It forces her to move out to this different range. And if you're Luke, if she's at that range, you can either press the issue forward, start to claim some space on the screen, or just go to Sandblaster play and play for bar. You're not going to need to do that here because we should have CA in the back. Not that we need it, just a 1-bar kill. First game on the board for SpaceBoy.
And notably, this is a V-Trigger 2 Luke coming in from SpaceBoy. Typically, they've been running the V-Trigger 1 with the V-Skill 2 because it's that suppressor that, you know, blows up grabs, blows up wake-up jabs sometimes, just blows people up. Like, it's so good. We've been seeing so many Twitter clips about it. But, yeah, this is an interesting choice to go for the V-Trigger 2 as well on top of it.
Right, gonna have to see how Giyu is gonna be able to make an answer, but it's just so hard, right? Because the problem on the table right now is SpaceBoy is living in the pocket and is blowing you up for trying to hit buttons because he's uniquely equipped with this character to whip punish you in spots where you have been feeling secure. So Giyu, the first step for Giyu is finding a new button or a new range to contest that.
That's tough. There's not that many there that are really gonna, you know, support your lifestyle in that point. So, finally gonna bust out there with the EX, but activation time here for SpaceBoy.
Oh, a nice whip punish right into that target combo. Walk up, low short. We've got some damage in the back. Next hit would be CA. We didn't want to cash out behind the fireball. I'm okay with that. Problem is we're surrendering some bar here. Over chip.
The mental awareness to know that even through the V-Trigger 2 of Juri, you're gonna build enough bar literally at the right second to spend it for the chip kill.
Yeah, I had discounted chip altogether the second the V-Trigger activation came out from Juri there. So great presence of mind. Unfortunately, you are still stuck on the back foot, getting smoked out by these standing medium kicks, and finally placing that target combo. Trying to press the issue. Yet another one.
Light lead again here for Giyu, but they gotta keep
They are
it.
fishing.
SpaceBoy knows what's up.
Okay, standing medium kick punishes the startup of the sweep out of SpaceBoy. Around on the board for Giyu. But SpaceBoy still, you know, seems pretty comfortable here. Has plenty of bar. Slow down the game just a hair with the fireballs. Oh, blowing up the space roundhouse. Oh, shimmy connects.
Yeah, and look at this. Oh, the guest right. Giyu gonna get that EXDP right when they needed it to. But now, what do they do with it, right? They have this opportunity. They have this trigger taken away. Gets the cross cut.
We reset back to neutral. Trigger is off the table now on the side of Giyu. We find the regular throw after that pinwheel drop, but I mean, SpaceBoy is going to play this for activation, and Luke has so much damage available. This is still something that I would call comparatively close. Giyu is about to get CA, so it's about to be a one-touch game, but they committed too much to that low forward.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Listen, Brad, Luke does dabblage. They just crush life bars. Look at the size of the man.
I keep thinking that it's like, all right, Giyu gets one more guess. No, Luke has taken the guess, plundered.
Literally stolen. The man is a thief. He's stolen the future of Street Fighter. He has stolen Ken's future.
I'm gonna need you to show your work on that one once we're off stream. But SpaceBoy trying to put that work in and close out this grand finals, send everybody home. Giyu cashing out that V skill so that they can get out of the corner. But SpaceBoy has seemed so willing to just fight in that corner. And even, wow, alternating between Sandblast and medium punch, and it's like, all right, you don't know whether there's going to be a fireball and longer recovery, or if I'm just buffering behind this limb, and if you're wrong, you're going to eat some damage.
The damage is scary. It's scary damage. And now this life lead's, it's about even, but we got a huge meter advantage here for Giyu. They got that CA available. They're gonna have to kind of hold it though, because they now have the activation in from SpaceBoy, and they're dead. They're dead. They're dead.
Jesus.
They're killed.
Set point for SpaceBoy, looking to 3-0 grands with the Luke into Giyu's Juri. Is Giyu gonna find the pocket? Giyu has struggled for most of this set to find a spot to play the game that they have done so effectively. And SpaceBoy feels so confident. Like, that DP is a risk, right? And I wish that he hadn't done it, but you are feeling so secure in your position as SpaceBoy that what does it really matter?
Good question, because you don't actually know what it matters until you do it, right? That's part of the risk of playing these games. Is like, sometimes you're gonna guess wrong, sometimes you're gonna guess right, and SpaceBoy's been guessing right quite a lot.
Oh, I had every expectation that a reversal was coming out there. I'm actually watching the playback to see if that standing strong was a counter hit. It was indeed. SpaceBoy hit buttons. It was not DP. Funnily enough, DP would have been right. This is still set point for SpaceBoy, but Giyu needs to be able to close this out to bring this on to another game. Goes with the low forward, starting to press the issue. Standing strong counter hits are starting to work out. You're seeing Giyu is finding the pace for this frame trap game once we get into range 0 to start to make this happen, finding that crosscut pinwheel.
Yeah, that was a super deep crosscut as well, but look at how far away these Luke buttons are hitting. It's got to be frustrating at this point for Giyu, right? They've played against so many whiff punishing characters. They're just getting annihilated in this scenario. Guess for game, right? It's guess for stun. They get suppressed. And that's going to do it. SpaceBoy taking the championship. They're going to be able to close this out as long as they don't drop the CA.
Oh my god, you cursed the hell out of him. Activation comes out from Giyu, but here's the thing. We could see a not a dissimilar situation. He doesn't even care. I think... He doesn't even care. Not worried. Anti-air comes out. Throw still comes out. Here's the problem. SpaceBoy can still try to make something happen. No. Folds too much on the back foot and gets thrown through it. Giyu manages to stave off the 3-0. SpaceBoy gets a little bit too big for his britches, commits just too much, and loses out on what should have been their set. But also, Dr. cursed the hell out of him.
You guys can't see me, but I'm just shaking my head in disbelief. Like, how many weeks in a row am I gonna do this to people? Like, go through the clips chat. It's time and again. I'm too powerful. I'm too strong. Here we go, though. We got more Street Fighter ahead of us. I got nothing. I got nothing. SpaceBoy, don't feel bad. I do it to everybody.
I'm so shook. I was mentally, it was like, yeah, that's it. That's the tournament. No, it isn't. Doctor had to go and call it a little bit too early. V-skill out of Giyu gets us out of the corner.
That clip is activation. Gonna haunt us all.
I don't know who us all is. It's sure gonna haunt you.
Yeah, but here we go. We got the activation active for SpaceBoy, trying to fish with these sandblasts, but Giyu still ready, starting to get a lot more of these reads down, like you were saying. Oh, we got whiffs, we got punishes, we got fighters.
All right. Throw doesn't kill here, so it goes for shimmy. No whiff punish on the standing roundhouse there. You had to be ready for it. Suppressor comes out. Giyu tries to commit some stuff. We're going to have V-trigger in the back in a second. Oh my god. The charge on the flash knuckle and the suppressor connects that time. SpaceBoy back on set point.
And this time, dead even on meter coming into this round. That air-to-air traded, and it crushed Giyu's life bar. That was not an even trade by any means. Again, not an even trade. Giyu was getting annihilated by these.
These are absolutely getting economically devastated.
That's the bust out.
strong position to be in. Yeah, the bust out from Giyu. And we have to know that neutral jump there, that was an expectation of some of the standard V-trigger activation routes that can come out of Giyu. And the problem with Giyu right now is in the life position that they're in, if they overcommit and get red on their V-trigger activation, SpaceBoy is going to be able to kill them. Or they can get red on the standing medium kick, and this time SpaceBoy is going to close it out. I had the decency to wait for the animation to start. Closes it out with the call on the stand. Any of these counter pokes that Itachi's Legacy is throwing out. Wow, the patience to wait for the kite, but still comes down with a button, does Itachi's Legacy. Are we going to stay same side? Yes, we are. We're going to go for the throw on the reset. A second throw? That was going to be 3.
Yes, yes. You always go for 3.